Everything changed on February 28, 2026. On that day, the United States and Israel launched a coordinated strike on Iranian target. At first, it looked like a typical show of military power. Fighter jets moved quickly, precision missiles hit their target, and headlines spread across the world within minutes. But behind the breaking news and dramatic footage, something much deeper began to unfold. Strategists and geopolitical analysts started describing the situation with an unusual phrase, the Deadlock Protocol. In simple terms, it means entering a conflict where every possible move becomes dangerous. If the United States escalates the situation further, the conflict could spread across the entire Middle East. And that is where the situation stands today. Iran is not just another country in the region. It sits at the center of one of the most sensitive energy corridors in the world. Any military action there sends shockwaves through global markets, shipping routes, and international alliances. What initially looked like a short military operation is now slowly turning into something far more complex, and the first sign of that complexity appeared almost immediately in the global markets. Within days of the strikes, oil price surged past $120 per barrel. For many people, that might look like just another number on a financial chart, but in reality, oil price at that level affect nearly every part of the global economy. When oil becomes more expensive, transportation cost increases. When transportation becomes expensive, the price of food, electronics, and everyday goods begin to rise. In other words, a conflict thousands of kilometers away can quietly impact households all over the world. But while the United States is now deeply involved in this situation, two other global powers are taking a very different approach. Russia and China are watching carefully. There are no sudden troop movements, no dramatic announcement, only observation. And sometimes in geopolitics, patience itself becomes a strategy. Because the longer a conflict continues, the more resources it consumes. Military operation becomes expensive, political pressure increases, and uncertainty spreads across global markets. This creates a difficult position for Washington. The United States cannot easily withdraw now, but achieving a quick victory is also becoming increasingly complicated. And that is why many analysts are beginning to describe the situation as a strategic trap, but the next development makes the situation even more serious. In response to rising tensions, the United States has begun one of its largest military buildups in the region since 2003, the year of the Iraq War. Warships, aircraft, and additional troops are now being positioned across strategic locations in the Middle East. One of the key arrivals in the USS Tripoli, an ambiguous assault ships capable of carrying helicopters, advanced aircraft, and hundreds of marines. Alongside it, additional marine forces are strengthening the American military presence across nearby bases and waters. To many observers, this looks like preparation for a larger confrontation. But the reason behind this deployment are not purely military, they are also financial. For decades, the global oil trade has been closely linked to the US dollar, a system often referred to as the Petrodollar. This system helps maintain the central role of the dollar in international trade and finance. If instability in the region threatens that system, it could have consequences far beyond the battlefield. And that is why exiting the situation quickly becomes extremely difficult. Leaving too soon risks losing influence. Staying too long risks deeper escalation. This is the delicate balance now unfolding in real time. And while Western power remain heavily involved, another global player is watching the timeline very carefully. So, is this game over? Not even close. In many ways, the real game may just be beginning. China, the world's second largest economy and increasingly influenced geopolitical power, is closely observing how this situation develops. History shows that major power often wait patiently while their competitors become distracted or exhausted by prolonged conflicts. From that perspective, time itself can become a powerful strategic advantage. If Western nations remain focused on instability in the Middle East, global attention shifts away from other economic and geopolitical competitions. That is why the coming months could become extremely important for the future balance of power. Energy market, military alliance, and financial systems are all being tested at the same time. For viewers and citizens around the world, one lesson is clear. In movement of global uncertainty, awareness becomes strength because the story is still unfolding. And the next chapter may reshape the global order in ways we are only beginning to understand. Stay aware, stay strong, stay sovereign.